ever been sitting in church and you're invited forward for communion, but you really don't understand what it's all about? You know what? Actually, I'm going to set this one out. Because you think everybody else knows something that you don't. You know what? I'm going to go up. Or maybe I won't. You know what? I am going to go up because it's time for everything you ever wanted to know about communion, but we're afraid to ask on this episode of Chuck Knows Church. Communion, or Holy Communion, is also called the Eucharist, or the Blessed Sacrament, or the Lord's Supper, or many other names that I can't think of right now. Now, whatever you call it, it's used to identify this holy Christian sacrament. And it's a time when we give thanks to God, when we remember the sacrifice Jesus made for us and the last meal that he shared with his 12 disciples, and we look forward to his coming again. Now, Jesus was actually sharing a meal during the Jewish season of Passover. It's a holy time commemorating the exodus from Egypt by the Israelites. Now, during their mealtime together, which Christians have come to recognize as the Last Supper, Jesus gave new meaning to two elements, the bread and the wine. Now, Jesus said about the bread, "This is my body." And he said about the wine, "This is my blood of the new covenant." He gave them to his disciples, and he told them to keep sharing the bread and the wine like this, with thanksgiving and blessing, as a way to remember him, all he had done, and all he would do. Now, communion is practiced in many different ways in many different churches around the world. Different types of bread, grape juice, or in some places, even coconut milk instead of wine, which is reverent and refreshing. Refreverent. Thank you. There are also different ways to receive the elements. The most common is to be served the bread and to drink from a shared cup. Now, another is called Intinction. It means that you dip a piece of the bread into the cup, then you receive both elements together. Now, whichever way your congregation shares the bread and the cup, the motivation is always the same: to give thanks for all that God has done and will do for us in Christ, including his death, resurrection, and coming again. And we do it, as he said, in remembrance of me. In this way, Christ is especially present. And remember, to learn more, ask your pastor. Tell them Chuck sent you.